We're here at Sitka headquarters in Bozeman, Montana. Today I am joined with Trevor Stewart. Trevor is going to help me go over some setups for upcoming hunts this year. We're going to start out with our spring turkey slash bear hunting. How's it going, man?
Doing really well. How about yourself?
Pretty good, pretty good. I wanted to go over the things that I have laid out that have been working for me, but also that you may see I could be using something different for different scenarios, for different situations.
Sure.
So I pulled out some stuff out of my arson. This is the Intercept.
Yep.
It's a good hoodie.
Some merino.
It's a merino base. I like merino. I like everything about merino. Some people like synthetics. I magnetize more towards a merino, maybe just because I grew up in the wool era. Don't make fun of my age, please.
It's because you stink a little bit. Huh?
A little bit, just a little. But I admit to it, so it makes me a better person, man. Come on. But yeah, this is definitely, I like it because it's super quiet. When I'm rubbing up against brush or anything of the sort, I feel like I'm not making as much noise. I feel like I'm keeping the warmth that I'm trying to keep within my body in, and I'm not losing much. I'm not, you don't want to exert all your energy by just losing it, right? So this is definitely what I'm planning on using, and I'm gonna go with the Apex pant to go with it.
Yep.
Super quiet.
Yep.
The Apex has knee pads in it.
Yep.
So that's on my knees when I'm turkey hunting. I'm crawling around with a decoy in front of me. Anytime you're crawling in on a bear, you usually crawl on hands and knees to make the last bit of the stalk. So I chose the Apex pant, super quiet yet again. And I also have an Apex hoodie just to help me with elbow pads as well when we're crawling in.
Yeah, sure.
So what do you think about the setup? What would you change with the setup? Would you leave the setup as is? Where's your setup at?
That's a great setup, I think, for kind of earlier season or springtime when it starts to warm up a bit. And like you mentioned, it's very quiet. Like we made the Apex and Intercept line to be quiet for spot and stock situations in close range, thinking archery and things like that. So it's a great setup. That's kind of what I run for early archery season for deer and things like that as well. Yeah, anywhere I'm going to try and close that gap to 20 yards, somewhere around there, I'm going to want to wear that super quiet stuff with knee pads and the elbow pads like you mentioned, because you're going to be crawling in a lot too.
Absolutely.
For spring, I think one dynamic that comes in during spring is bugs, right? Like you're gonna, as it starts to warm up, snow melts off, it gets warm, and those ticks are gonna come out, the mosquitoes are coming out, and they're gonna ravage you, right? So last year we dropped the Equinox Guard system, and this was built specifically for this season when the bugs are out and for turkeys. So this is kind of what I run for turkey season and into spring bear if the bugs are bad. So if you're dealing with ticks, I know it's not as bad in a lot of areas here in Montana, but when you go to the southeast and the eastern side of the U.S. there, it's a serious issue and people are getting sick every year. So we wanted to try and solve a little bit of that problem, so we came out with the Equinox Guard system. So this is the Equinox Guard hoodie. So this was kind of what I'd run in substitute for that Intercept hoodie, or I'd throw that Intercept over this on a chillier morning.
Okay, so when you're talking about the Guard,
yes,
jump into that Guard. What you're talking about, the Guard system of it?
Yeah, so we it's real stretchy, real nice. It's pretty dang quiet too, but it's made with a really tight weave. Okay. So it's woven real tight to where mosquitoes can't get their proboscis through this material. And it's also got a built-in insect shield, which is basically built-in permethrin into the garment, built in for the life of the garment. So you don't have to spray with permethrin for ticks, right? It's already built in, and it stays around with our testing over 75 washes, and it's still good to go. From what I can remember. So,
dude, I live on the river.
Yeah.
So
fishing.
We go faint from loss of blood with the amount of mosquitoes we get bit by when we're hunting turkey. So, God dang it, man.
Yeah. So this is what I'd recommend for the springtime when the bugs are out. I hate ticks personally. I'm sure everyone does for the most part. So, and then this would be the Equinox Guard pant. So it also has insect shield built into it with the permethrin. What I really like about this that gives me peace of mind is here's the pant leg here, and there's an internal gaiter in here.
Oh, man.
So
out
so you tuck this into your socks, right? And then they can't crawl up, and they're siloed off. They get stuck in here.
You're not getting surprised.
No,
bugs
and then that
in the
permit
shower.
exactly, yes, and you don't have to have your buddy
right.
search
Yeah.
for
The
ticks off you.
embarrassing ticks.
So they get stuck in here, and then that permethrin kicks in. It goes to work, and they'll die and fall out. And you can see there's a pretty cool like micro grid fleece in there with a little bit of merino in there, just for comfortability and breathability. For breathability, we also implemented these side zips. And there's a mesh there, so bugs can't get in there if you have that open. But that's just a good way to dump some heat
Dude, this
and
may
regulate
even
your
be
temp.
Good for like later on in the year. This may be good for elk hunting. You can
Sure.
transition this into elk season.
For
too,
sure,
right?
I've used
Yeah.
it elk hunting and early deer when it's hotter. The one thing that you had that you like that these don't have at the moment is the knee pads,
That's
right? And that's a big deal a lot of times. So I think in the future we'll probably try and add a spot for
That'd
knee
be
pads in
awesome,
here.
man. Yeah, I mean when you're living in places such as like southeast Montana, where we have a lot of cactus.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this has saved my tail a million times. Right, you can see the wearing
Yeah.
that I've done on these pants already. And I mean, I haven't had these long, but I beat the snot out of them. And they're just awesome. You can see a little bit of fade, not a rip, not a nothing. I love these pants.
Yeah.
If we put that into the Equinox, that'd be win-win-win.
I agree. Yeah.
man.
I think
Absolutely.
it could use them, and they're removable, right? So like if you don't like them, you take them out. So I think you might as well add them to this for
Dang
the future
right, man.
iteration. This is a pretty lightweight system. Last year we were hunting turkeys here in Montana and bear, and it was cold. I mean, it snowed on us, right? So I'll also
there.
usually bring my ambient hoodie or ambient jacket. This thing, it goes with me everywhere. I rarely take this off when I'm hunting. Really breathable, really warm for the lightweight package and packability of it.
Right.
So this is kind of one of my MVPs all around. I take it on every hunt.
That's
for the most
one of your go-tos.
Yes,
So,
sir.
not to get off subject much, that's one of your go-tos in the bottom of your pack. No matter what, you got it with you.
Yeah, it's usually honestly on me. Like I'll hike in it, I'll sleep in it. It rarely comes off, and it's a
Okay.
great active insulation piece. It wicks moisture and sweat off of you and gets rid of it, and then it keeps you warm when you need it to as well.
Perfect, man. I think I'm down to try this stuff out,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, you can get you a pair of the guard.
God dang right.
It's great stuff just for peace of mind with the ticks for me.
Think about that. It's not only your camo. It's not only something that's gonna keep you, warm. It's actually something that's gonna protect you from potential issues
Lyme
with bugs.
disease,
Lyme disease, right?
alpha-gal.
I
Like
mean,
you can't imagine not being able to ever eat red meat again.
ever.
What would
Like,
that do to your lifestyle?
dude? My life would end.
You'd be a great
Honestly.
fisherman.
Yeah.